Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inner Bloom with Beth. Today, I wanted to talk for a minute about the journey of healing. So, recently, I decided that it was time for me to go to the physical therapist. Back in October, I was having some childlike fun and I was doing a few cartwheels. Didn't warm my body up, didn't do anything like that, but I ended up injuring my hamstring. And um, so I, being me, waited 5 months, hoping that it would kind of heal on its own and really, trying to look up different things to fix it myself. But after 5 months of having off and on issues with my hamstring and my back and all of these things, I decided it's time to go to physical therapy. So in going, I was surprised in what I learned. So I show up and I'm talking to her about my right hamstring that's been bothering me. And as she starts checking things, what we find is that actually my major issues are on my left side, my psoas muscles, but and my back. And so, she's talking to me and she's like, well, it's kind of hard to tell which one came first. But we definitely have to fix this over here in order for us to be able to work on that. And in reflection, because I was like, gosh, did I do something? And I remembered a moment. There was a moment where I distinctly remember kind of throwing out my back. And it was right before COVID. And so honestly, I didn't do anything about it then. And it seemed like it got better. But really, I never dealt with it. I never dealt with that initial injury. So instead, I found ways to like work around that injury, but it actually caused more issues that led to a second thing. And so in talking to her about this, and she said to me, you're kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. Like I feel like I've got one thing figured out, and then it seems like there's this other thing that ends up popping up, and it really just made me think about the journey of healing oneself. And sometimes there's that surface issue, right? Like that thing that we know is bothering us and that we want to work on, but come to find out that is truly just the issue that's in the forefront. And as we start to peel it back and dig in and try to fix it or try to change that piece of ourselves or the way that we're functioning in life, we end up discovering that the reason it's there was because of something that had happened a long time ago that taught us to act, behave, or function in a certain way. But now we can see that that way of being was not necessarily something that was meant to serve us in the long run, right? Like it just kind of helped us get through that moment then. And I know that this will probably make sense to some, maybe it'll make sense to all. But I just wanted to come on here because I think it's really important to acknowledge that. Like, it's okay, and that may happen within the journey of growing, that we need to maybe go back and reflect on some of the things that maybe hurt us or caused us to think and behave in a certain way in the past. And then here we are just chugging along, forgetting about that, like that maybe didn't serve me then, but I didn't have the capacity to handle it at that point in time. So I found ways to cope. I made it through, or so I thought. But now I'm finding that that thing is still there. And now I need to focus on it a little bit more. Now I need to figure out how to heal that so that I can move forward and change how I'm being now. So again, I'm just here to bring another point of reflection for you. I hope that it resonates with some. And that the next time that maybe happens, you don't, get upset with yourself for feeling like, oh, I thought I fixed that thing and it's still there. Like, it can take time. It can take time, with this physical therapy. Like, I'm needing to do some exercises every single day to, heal and strengthen that part of my body. And, I think about it, it's like for 2 years, my muscles over there have learned to like behave in a certain way, and I almost have to like retrain them. And so when you're learning and growing and trying to kind of shift your way of being, it's going to take practice. You're going to need to exercise that way of being. And it's going to take a little bit of time, and that's okay. I think be patient and be loving with yourself as you go through, and you do that, and as you grow. Sending love.